In 2023, I almost lost everything. And with 4 businesses, 2,400 employees, and dozens of personal investments and limited partnerships, the pressure was on. I'm gonna share with you the one thing that CEOs like myself do every year. We reflect on what our wins were and our losses, and that is a superpower that I'm gonna go through today out loud with you in the room, so you can learn what my biggest lessons were and also what almost cost me everything in 2023. In 2023, I made a couple mishires, and those mishires actually cost me $1 million. And in this video, I wanted to reflect about what happened. And here's the deal. The job description and the outcome, meaning the role for these folks and what I was expecting them to deliver for the business, was mismatched. And what happened is my team chose harmony versus conflict. And the principle in this is pretty simple. As the CEO, the leader, the entrepreneur, your job is to choose conflict. And most leaders and humans, because they want everybody to be together and everything to be okay and good feelings, they're gonna choose harmony. And so it's your job to identify inside of your business and in life when things are not going well, whether it's a bad hire, a bad initiative, or something isn't working out. It's your job as the leader to see the truth for what it actually is and choose conflict for the greater good of the whole organization. So my first principle is hire slow and fire fast, and make sure your employees are delivering the outcome that you expect as the leader or entrepreneur in your business. Okay, the next lesson is what I call just simply holding up a mirror. And here's what happened. Last year, we missed our revenue goals by just one customer. Had we onboarded one more additional customer in 2023, Q3 would have hit our goals for the whole year. And the mistake that I made is I didn't hold the sales manager accountable in the way that now I know I should have. And so this hold a mirror up principle is simply that. When you hire somebody to do a job for the business or your home or your family or whatever it is, you gotta set the right expectation and then hold the mirror up and say, why haven't you hit the numbers? Why hasn't your team hit the numbers? What are you going to do in order to make this work? Most people will shirk responsibility. And it's your job as the leader or CEO to actually hold up the mirror and ask the question like, hey, why didn't you hit it? Like, what could have you done differently? Sometimes I'll pull up a calendar. Sometimes I'll pull up a workflow. Sometimes I'll pull up a job description. Sometimes I'll say, hey, what are the steps you're gonna do to fix this? But holding a mirror in front of your employees and saying, hey, what are you gonna do to fix this? That's the superpower. That's what creates you as a CEO. Like, if you're doing the work or you're like letting them off the hook, well, you might as well run a nonprofit or work for the government. As a CEO, holding up a mirror, it's a principle that works and you've got to use it. And I didn't in 2023. So that's my lesson number 2. My lesson number 3, I was just looking at the financials yesterday actually, and I had my controller on the phone and we were going through what was happening. I invested over $3 million in a partnership and I had hired the wrong partner, meaning I put my money in with the wrong leader. In 2023, cost me more than $1 million. And what happened, it's really an interesting story. I got interested in investing in apartments. And there's this guy who had already bought one apartment. And my failure there was I didn't underwrite the leader, meaning I didn't know who this guy was. I wasn't clear about what his experience was or what his skill set was. I just got so excited about the idea of owning these huge apartment complexes and that he had done it before, that I failed to actually dive deep. Like, what was his leadership style? You know, how did he track numbers? How much time was he gonna invest in this particular business? And the thing is, I was the money and he was supposed to be the work. And I hear this kind of issue with partners all the time in the different business circles that I run into, but I'd never experienced it myself because I was gonna put the money in and he was gonna do all the hard work, and then we were gonna grow this massive company. What happened is, as I learned his deficiencies, what I realized is that I never actually underwrote him. I never underwrote him as a CEO. I never underwrote him as a leader. I never underwrote his acumen to buy and hold and actually run really large apartment complexes. So I actually had to end up buying him out of the business, even though he put no capital in. And we ended up hiring a different manager in order to run that business. And today, the mistake cost me more than $1 million. So the lesson for the apartment guy is this idea of Hopium. Don't hope that partners are going to work out, the investment's going to work out. I should have done a better job of upfront underwriting this particular leader and the deals that he was bringing, and it was just Hopium, which isn't going to work out for any business. This next lesson has to do with time and energy. And the reality, as I reflect back to 2023, and we went through every single department goal and results, what I realized is the time that I spent with each department and the leaders in those departments, actually the results showed it, meaning the departments that didn't reach their goals, I look back at the time that I spent and the energy that I poured into them. Those were the departments that I neglected. So this principle is pretty simple. Wherever your energy, your positive, your leadership, all that good stuff that you do every single day, wherever your energy flows, your money will grow. And so the most important thing is make sure your priorities are right, your calendar is right, and you're spending energy in the places inside your life and business that really matter to you. This lesson is actually a personal one. Every year in the new year, we go to Tahoe. We have a family cabin up there, and I take our whole family and we do planning. And we do vision boards and we talk about goals and all that good stuff for our kids who are literally 2 years old, 7 years old, and 10 years old. At that trip, what I realized, and there's a photo on the screen right here, is that I never played solitaire with my daughter, meaning this year we were up there and we had a little bit of time to burn, and we were playing cards, and my middle child, who's 7, is eating it up. She's loving it. And there was this hot second where I reflected, like, how much time did I spend playing games with my kids in 2023? So the lesson here is you actually have to calendar the things in your life that really, really matter. And for me, my kids and their development and our relationship really, really matters. And so in that moment, I realized that I hadn't been scheduling one-on-one time and play time and game time with my kids. And so this lesson is pretty personal, but it's important. Schedule the most important stuff and prioritize that. And for me, that's family. And so that's why this is my lesson number 5. So the last lesson, and maybe the one that's overarching the whole strategy of 2023 for our company, was this idea of planning versus strategy. See, planning is very certain. I can hire this person, I can invest in this stuff. Strategy, on the other hand, is uncertain because you have to make a set of assumptions about what your customers will like or what they will buy from your company. And so most people simply plan versus doing strategy. And so I'm doing these videos because I want for you to have the best strategy for 2024. I want you to win at a highest level. I want you to take over your competition. I want you to serve your clients at a very high level. So I hope you enjoy this video. In the comments, put your strategies for 2024, and I can't wait to hear from you.